Hello, everyone. So, as you must be aware that I'm conducting this series based upon my book, Pivot with Purpose. Basically, this is my book, and this today we are at the eighth session of that series. So far, we have covered a lot of concepts, as I mentioned previously as well. It will continue. I think it will be having a almost 15 session in this webinar series, where we will discussing about the aspect of the product. As you know, myself Vikas, I have been entrepreneur, program manager, enterprise agile coach, and the product strategist. And now I'm here to share about the next step in the webinar series. So let's quickly see. Let me share my screen and then we'll start. Okay. So as I mentioned, this is the eighth session of the series. And today we will be deep diving into the testing the waters, market testing strategies. So as you know, we discussed about of the multiple dimensions about the ideation and concept, feasibility and planning, design and development. And last session and this session is about somewhere between introduction and growth. So we have introduced, now we need to test the real things basically before jumping into the market. So in today's session, we are going to cover a bit recap of the previous sessions basically. What is alpha and beta testing? How to get the user feedback and how to take the decisions based upon the BCG Matrix. BCG represents Boston Consulting Group. This is defined by BCG itself. So now in the previous session, we discussed about the sessions basically, ideation and inceptions. We discussed about how to brainstorm about the product, how to test the product, also how to get into the problem space more. Feasibility and planning, we discussed about that whether the solution is feasible or not. It is not always true that we have created a feature what that should be working or not. Let me give you an example. Yesterday I was conducting a workshop and people were very much saying that iPhone is a nice product and people are buying it because it is nice. But then I discussed, if the cost of iPhone is 10 times whatever right now, will you buy that? The answer was straight no. So it is not only creating the right product, it is very important to do the feasibility and planning analysis. After that, we jumped into the design and to development, and we discussed about a lot of aspects about the design thinking approach, especially story mapping, customer journey map. Also importantly, we discussed about product journey canvas. That canvas is exclusively developed by me while I was writing this book, and it is really a one place where you can figure out everything about your product. And again, this is a continuous document. If you missed that part, please go back and watch the previous session and you will get to know what I'm talking about. Yeah. Now let's jump into the today's topic, that is why market testing matters. What is the purpose? And you know, some of the major organization and which are very good in this market research and analysis, they have also done some mistakes in the past. They launched their product without checking that market basically. So let me ask you one question. Would you launch without a dress rehearsal? Would you launch your product? The Easy answer maybe no. But let's see, deep dive into this aspect, that how can we, what kind of testing can be done and how can we determine, because testing cannot be one direction and one direction cannot support that it will work for all. Yeah. So product rehearsal before launch. Whenever we are doing a big launch, any new feature we are launching, any new version we are launching, any new product we are launching, we should rehearsal before the launch. Validate assumptions under real world conditions. So if you remember, couple of the session back, we discussed about the 5D design sprint. Basically, whenever we discussed, we checked the prototype, but right now our product is ready. Even before launching and investing, let's go and test that again. How to do that? We will discuss. Detect bugs, improvement, usability, and refines messages, right? What messages we are giving, what are the bugs in the system, right? So test with the real user and in both type of environment, internal and external. Yeah, we'll get to know what it is. So we need to create a balancing act. Most of the time we have done initial analysis, we have done prototyping, we have validated prototyping, and we are sure that this product will thrive, right? So we are excited. As a producer, we are emotionally connect with the product. I have seen, if the people are emotionally connect with the product and they want to launch that product by any means. So this is good. I'm not saying that emotional excitement is not good. It should be, but objective evaluation should also be there, right? And willingness to pivot based upon the feedback. As soon as we are going the feedback from the market, pivot it very quickly. It depends upon you how soon you are able to pivot. You will be able to thrive in the market. And opportunity to fixed before it costs more. Understood, if there is something which is not working, it should be fixed upfront. Otherwise, it may cost more. Let me give you an example. If you launch a product and people are not satisfied, and for a particular screen, there is just some usability issue, and people are not passing through that application or that particular screen, believe me, 80% users will not go to that screen again, even you fix that defect. Right? So, opportunity to fix before it costs more. Let's sum up the example. To build the confidence, we can do alpha and beta testing. So, alpha testing is something to build the confidence internally. That is alpha testing. And real world insight we will get from the beta testing, right? So, alpha testing is conducted in house, because there are certain confusion like what is alpha, beta testing, and everybody knows the term, but somehow we are not able to make the demarcation. So, alpha is conducted in house. The focus on functionality, stability, and bugs. Remember the focus here. We are talking about either our functionality is working or not, our solution is stable or not, if there is any potential bug. Benefit of this one, early issue identification. We can identify the issue as early as possible. And technical validation will also happen. We can do pen testing, load testing as well, or depend upon the product, right? Now come to the beta testing, real world insight. External testing is done with the targeted user. Targeted user should belongs to your segment. It should not happen that you are testing the solution with the users who are not belonging to your potential segment. That may also give some insight if the people are not from your segment, but testing with the real user who is part of your segment is market segment is necessary. By this, we will be able to get the real user scenario, like people are using it or not, how people are reacting, reflecting, and get the diverse input. See, some people may provide a different kind of input, right? So every individual is not same. If we are launching a banking application for the retail customer, the feedback from a 20-year-old guy may be different from the 80-year-old guy. But we need to separate it, segment and based upon the need, what need we are catering and how can we adjust that. So the focus is usability of my application or my product, experience, how the people are experiencing with my product, and early feedback it will provide. This is alpha and beta testing. Even we'll see some of the examples or as well. Some people, some products launched without proper beta testing, and what happened. We'll see. Now, these are not one-time activity. Again, there should be continuous iteration of the alpha and beta testing. Whenever we are launching anything. Continue. It is not about the new product launch. It is about the whenever we are launching a new feature, new functionality as well. Documentation and progress tracking will play an important role. What impact, what feedback we have received, what can happen, whatever feedback we have received 1 year back, maybe may our new solution is something different. So the documentation will help to keep track. And communication with testers build a trust. See, you have picked some of the users who will be testing, and once the testing, you will fix that, right? Whatever is the is coming in the alpha or beta testing. Make sure once you fixed, communicate that to tester as well. It will create a trust. What Microsoft did basically before launching of Windows 11, they identify some of the pilot users and they requested user they can upgrade to the as a pilot user for Windows 10 to Windows 11. And there were certain defects, certain issues people got. And they fixed the issues. Microsoft fixed those issues. And after that, they communicated to the user, thanks for sharing this, and we have fixed these issues. People will believe if I'm working as a beta user, as a testing tester for this application, now something is happening for my, and they can become your advocate. Do not think like people will understand. Create a relationship, create a trust. So that's why leveraging alpha and beta testing is very important. Again, it is attractive, documentation is necessary, and communication is the key. If you will see in my slide, every day, every webinar series, there is a one or other part related to communication. Either we are doing market research, brainstorming, everything, right? Now, what is the benefit of this alpha testing and beta testing? Once we will detect the bug early, by the beta testing, we'll get usability insights. There is a possibility my product is working fine, functionality is working fine, but the user is not comfortable to utilize that application. Let me give you an example. When I was working with a product based organization, what happened? We launched a very good product, an application, but we figured out the adoption is very less. And we created a n number of features for that particular audience so that they can utilize the features, they can see how others are doing, how the ecosystem is doing, what preventive action they need to take, all these things, the information which may be helping to work them. But when we did market research, we worked with them closely and we figured out that the that particular segment is not that much of mobile savvy. Also, they want some simple form from where they can update their information so that organization can process that information for their sales, marketing, and analytics purpose. We created wonderful application. We were thinking that people will be delighted, but that was not the case. So whatever we are producing may not be right fit for the customer. So usability insight we will get by the beta testing. Reduce post launch risk. Once we will launch, if Windows 11 may be getting all those defects after the launch, usability issues, what would have been happened? The reputation of the organization, right? And there is a risk of uh, losing data, losing customer post launch. Can you imagine if a vehicle, a consumer segment, a vehicle is getting any error after the launch or after the sale, because there is a launch price, people will be booking the cars and will be receiving the cars. How much it costs to organization to fix a small defect and recall the car, each and every car in the warehouse? Huge. So it also reduced the post-launch risk, and it also increased team and stakeholder confidence. If we are doing it, team and stakeholder will be happy and will think they are delivering a good solution. Also, as a customer, I'll also happy. Okay, I understand that if I'm using Windows 11 right now, it should be having a robust system. So one part is testing and another part is feedback. So again, beta testing is related to the user feedback, right? So what feedback is doing, how feedback is supporting to us? It validate design and features. So, okay, my design and features are validated and customer wants it or don't want it, I need to pivot, I need to change, I will do that, right? Uncover unknown issues. As I mentioned in the previous example, there were certain issues which was not covered, which we think that we have delivered a very wonderful application, but that was not the case, right? So uncover unknown issues, build loyal user base in both ways. If you are having the tester from your segment, your target segment, they will trust you. Okay, you are reporting them. If they are reporting to you, you are fixing them. There is a one aspect. Also, once they fix solution and the really usable solution will go to your customer or consumer or user, they will be delighted. They will be happy that this product is not having any defect. Yeah. So user feedback is very important, and there can be multiple channel. I have mentioned in the here 4 or 5 channels, but there can be multiple channel surveys. But survey should not be overwhelming. Survey should be written in a way, in a language, so that customers should be able to share whatever they are thinking, they are feeling, all of those aspects, what we want to know. Also in survey, most of the time, another mistake is happening. We are floating the survey and survey is freely floating and people are filling that, and we are not aware that this particular user is my target audience or not. So remember having couple of the question, if the user, whether user is target audience or not. In the if initial question is it is figured out that this user is not my target audience, stop that. Thanks for your feedback. That's it. In-app feedback form for the application, web page, mobile application, in-app feedback form. For the automobile industry, people are taking survey whenever, feedback form whenever you are going to service your car or vehicle and you are receiving the call as well. Interview and forums, create some event, bring all the customer, one-on-one interview, understand the aspects. Encourage specificity and actionable input. So again, in feedback, encourage specificity and actionable input. It should not happen that survey or the whatever mode I am connecting with my customer or taking the feedback, I'm not able to determine, okay, what does that mean? I should tweak this feature, I should remove this feature. or or this application is also not required. I'm not cutting entire thing. So whenever either way we are communicating, connecting with the customer, there should be a specificity and the actionable input. Whatever input, whatever discussion we are doing, we should be able to take action. Again, as I mentioned for the beta, alpha and beta testing as well. Sorry, iteration. It is an iterative process, similar feedback as well. It is not a one-time process. It can be quantitative, qualitative as well. Quantitative will provide you the data point, and qualitative will provide you what are the pain points, how the customer is feeling. It can be done happen by the interviews, asking open questions, prioritization, quick wins versus deep fixes. There may be something which I may not be fixed right time, but I can discuss and connect with the customer that what can be the quick fix as of now. Inform user of changes made. Once it is done, inform the user. Okay, you requested, you committed, you discussed with us. Thanks for that discussion, and now that changes happen, please go and have a look at again. Build engagement and community. This is most of the product missing. Whatever product you have, create a community, build engagement. It is not a one-time process. Airbnb created a lot of community for the different reason, different locations to thrive in the market. There are a lot of tour and travels product organizations. They are having the community pages on the Facebook or different medium. Create a community, engage with the customer. If you will engage with the customer, you will get to know the pain point, and the later on as well it will be helpful. Uses testers as long-term allies. So it is not one time you are going to need the testers. Work them as a long-term allies. It is very hard to get the real-time users, right? Real users basically. So once you got the users, create a long-term allies. You can have some loyalty point or reward points as well for the customer who are giving you the feedback. They will connect with you. You will be able to keep a long term connect. So again, alpha beta testing and feedback is more or less you can say it's related to beta testing. These are important aspect even before going into the market with full flow. Do alpha and beta testing. Now importantly, what we need to do for the product, how to take the decision making. So let me quickly give you a glimpse of BCG Matrix as well here. So in the x-axis, if you will see, this is your market share from low to high, and this is your market growth. Market share is based upon your product, how much market your product is having, and growth is how much growth is there for that particular product. If your product is in this segment, having high market growth and high market share, it is a star. You need to invest on this because even you are having the market high market share, but still there is a lot of chance of growth as well. Keep investing until unless it will come to in this quadrant. We'll discuss what is cash cow. So if you are, if market share is high, you have a very good market share, market growth is potential is high, work on different feature, new offering, attract the customer, One point, to remain in the market, to utilize your premium position. Second, to continue your premium position in the growing market. And third, how can we support another market segment in the growing market? Segment means whatever is possible, sometimes new functions, new functionality. Now, if you have a high market share but low market growth, okay, so you have a premium position in the market but growth is not there. In that case, invest less. These are cash cow, because with less investment you will get more. So you have saturated that growth, market growth is not there, it's a stagnant, but you have a sizable chunk in the market. Hold that market positions. Do not invest a lot of in research and development, working gradually on the feature, whatever is required to be in the market premium position at that particular segment. And that is the idea. That's why I mentioned from the star also we need to reach to cash cow basically when we have the saturated the market segment, but we have a premium position in terms of market share. Now it's a time to utilize. Actually, cash cow is the some place where we start utilizing the more and more and more profit with less investment. But star, we need to keep growing, keep investing. Suppose our market growth is high and market share is low. Market growth is high, there is an ample market, but as a product, my presence is very limited. What I need to do? I need to pick it bits and pieces where to invest. There may be possibility, there may be a number of areas here. So I pick and choose what are the areas where I can move this part to star section, question mark to star. But in practical sense, do not try to pick each and everything. That is a selective process, selective products or selective segment, just pick and work on that. You cannot work on the entire market, right? So think about that. And if there is a market growth is low, market share is also low, you may you may think about decommissioning it. This is called pet docs. So think about the decommissioning it. Also, you may keep it like as an investment if there is any strategic benefit. Sometimes the product is directly not adding value to me, not giving a profit to me, but it is supporting to my other product, which are my cash cow or star. Or there is some strategic investment where I need to have my presence for some strategic purpose. If that's the case, keep investing. Otherwise, reduce the investment in this one. So this is called BCG Matrix, and it is helpful while you are determining that where to invest more, right? And again, think, move whatever is in question mark as per the selective items, selective products or selective segment or selective area to star, and try to move star into the cash cow and remain here. Try to be remain here as long as possible. Your organization will be in profit. Yeah. So again, the similar thing what I discussed there, invest in star and selective question mark. Use cash cow to fund testing effort or to fund stars and question marks. And monitor it shift across the metrics over time. The question mark to star to cash cow, do this movement. Yeah. So this is, you can utilize BCG to for the strategic testing decisions. Now, there are some key takeaways from this session, what we discussed. Market testing is critical. It's not optional. It is very much required. If you must have seen, Google Glasses is a classical example. They launched without it proper market testing, without proper uh, user testing. They It was a very good technical product, but it was not able to thrive in the market. I gave an example as well, the feasibility as well. If my iPhone is 20 times costlier, will people buy that? Think about that. So market testing is very important. It's not optional, right? Even in case of BNB, they did very good thing. They rented. They were owning some apartments in San Francisco, and they started renting those apartments to test that people will be willing to go there or not. And there are a lot of examples where people did that, right? Alpha and beta is confidence internally, and real insight from externally we'll get. And user feedback is your compass, your direction. See again the Google Glass example, right? User feedback will work you as your compass where to move. And strategy tools like BCG support is smart decision. So BCG tool we just discussed. Yep. So next, we will discuss about the post-launch monitoring and feedback loop. Also, we will discuss about the evidence-based management. What are the right KPI and measuring techniques? Sometimes we are utilizing vanity matrices and only output matrices, not the outcome matrices. So in the EVM discussion, we will discuss about that, how to determine the matrices, what are the key areas, how to check that, what the KPI we should be targeting and working. With that, we are at the end of this session, and please subscribe and like the videos if you like it, and I'll continue this series, and gradually we'll move forward, and we'll learn step by step about the product life cycle, how to bring a product to real life, to real profitability, and what is the decline and revive phase of the product. Also, we will touch base about some of the cutting edge technology like AI, machine learning, how these are influencing the products nowadays. Thank you, everyone. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, and if you want to get notification for next sessions, so there is a link to register for the webinar series in the description. Please fill that, and I'll make sure that you are getting the information in advance. Thank you.